Started, Mayor?
Yes, 5 after. Let's call the meeting to order.
Tuesday, May 18th, 2021. Regular meeting of the Borough Council of the Borough of Lodi, New Jersey. The time, 7:02 p.m. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Lodi Borough Clerk has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof published by paid legal advertisement in the Bergen Record on January 9th, 2021, March 22nd, 2021, April 30th, 2021, posted in the office of the Borough Clerk, on the entrance doors to Borough Hall, and on the Borough website. This meeting is being audio and video recorded.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
To the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilman Leto,
Here.
Councilman DeChara,
Here.
Councilman Carafa is not here yet. Deputy Mayor Martin,
Present.
Mayor Luna.
Here.
Also present, Borough Clerk Carol D'Amico, Municipal Manager Vincent Caruso, Borough Attorney Alan Spinello, Borough Engineer Tom Solfaro, Borough Auditor Frank DiMaria, Zoning Officer, Construction Official Nick Melfi, DPW Director Brian Palladino, CFO Charles Cuccia, and Kelsey Howard and Kevin Boyer from Colliers Engineering.
Carol, the chief's also here.
Don's here.
Oh, I didn't see you. Where is it? Oh, Chief. And Chief Scorzetti.
Anyone
just
coming in now.
Okay, and Councilman Carafa is right now.
Okay, there's no search and awards. You want to go right to the public hearing, Kat?
Yes, Mayor. This evening, we're having a public hearing for the purpose to obtain public comment on a change in project location related to the 2019 NJDEP Green Acres Local Government Stewardship Grant Program. The original grant application that has been selected for an award included installation of LED lighting at Kennedy Park and Voto Tedesco Park. The borough intends to redirect grant funds from Kennedy Park to Lodi Memorial Park. So we need a motion to open the hearing, Mayor.
A motion to open the hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Okay, at this point, we're going to turn the meeting over to Kelsey Howard from Colliers Engineering.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Kelsey Howard from Colliers Engineering and Design, formerly Mazer. So as was stated, the borough received a Green Acres Grant Award for lighting improvements originally at Voto Tedesco Park and Kennedy Park. And the desire is to redirect the funds from Kennedy Park to Lodi Memorial Park. So since we're making that change, Green Acres requires a public hearing to present the revised details of the project and solicit public comment on that. The original grant amount, you've been approved for a 75% matching grant in the amount of $941,250. The required match, if you draw down the entire grant amount, would be $313,750, or 25% of a total project cost of $1,255,000. So the project will be redirected from Kennedy Park to Lodi Memorial Park, which is located at 1 Memorial Drive. It's identified as Block 77, Lot 2. And the upgrades will be light pole upgrades, replacing the arms and heads, and retrofitting the LED bulbs to be more efficient and more energy efficient and cost savings. So at this point, we can answer any questions about the project and take public comment.
There's no comment. We get a motion to close the hearing?
Mayor, I'm just going to read out the phone number. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Anyone wishing to call in for the public hearing on the NJDEP Green Acres grant, the call-in number is 646-558-8656. Okay. Okay, Mayor, we can close the hearing.
Motion to close the hearing?
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Thank you, Kelsey and Kevin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Next, Mayor, is a public hearing for the purpose to obtain citizen input concerning the application being submitted to the 2021 funding round of the Bergen County Trust Fund Municipal Program for Park Development. The project includes making multiple enhancements, including stadium seating, an entertainment stage, and a fixed walkway in Memorial Park. We need a motion to open the hearing.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna. Mayor Luna.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Carol, same call-in number?
Yes, just one second. I just wanted to. Okay, the borough is requesting funding for renovations to Memorial Park located at 1 Memorial Drive, Lodi, New Jersey, 07644, tax block 77, lot 2. The project includes making multiple enhancements, including the stadium seating, entertainment stage, and a fixed walkway. And formal action may be taken this evening. The call-in number for the hearing on the 2021 Trust Fund Municipal Park Program for Park Development is 646-558-8656. Anyone wishing to be heard? No one's calling in, Mayor.
Okay, we get a motion to close the hearing?
Motion to close the
Second.
hearing?
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to proceed to resolution number 21-66, authorizing the submission of a Bergen County open space, recreation, floodplain protection, farmland, and historic preservation trust fund, Bergen County Trust Fund grant application to fund the following project: renovations to the Memorial Park Amphitheater.
Get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes. We get approval of minutes?
Approval of minutes. Executive meeting, April 13th, 2021.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Closed session, April 13th, 2021.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Regular meeting, April 20th, 2021.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes. Are there any communications, Carol?
Received and filed, Mayor.
Okay, report of the manager, Vin? Anything?
Mayor, Council, just a couple things. As we decided, we're going to reopen Borough Hall to the public on July 6th. There will be still be some safety precautions for the people coming in, but they will be accessible to the public through the reception area, and then they will go from there. So that is a welcome milestone for us. The ADA park on First Street is started. It may be starting a little slow as we had some issues with some elevations, but the DPW director has corrected that and come up with a plan, and it'll be moving forward, so that should be done soon. And lastly, the memorial service schedule is available on the website. We're going to have all our memorial services this year, and that's all I have for now.
Okay, just to add to Vin's report, our long-awaited Purple Heart Stone will be delivered on Saturday, I believe. They poured the footing, if I'm not mistaken, today, Brian, or tomorrow, and so we'll be doing that dedication to the Purple Heart on Memorial Day also.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mel, if you have any zoning report this week?
Zoning report for the month of April. Number of zoning inspections were 112. Total number of building inspections were 131. 3 field had to be rescheduled. We fulfilled 35 Oprah requests. We collected $3,750 for COs for rental and resales, $640 for new business, $5,200 for local zoning permits, $150 in violation, collected $16,238 in building department fees for a total of $29,978. We collected in summonses and violations between property maintenance and a couple of car dealerships from Gary, for a total of $4,321. There's still around 10 various cases that are still pending, waiting for court times and new dates and stuff. The following construction is continuing. It's almost at an end. It's on content by the bus company. The meat packaging on Industrial Avenue is moving slowly. Life storage is just done. They're waiting for final for the state for the elevator. 200 Greg Street, TCO was expanded for Amazon. They still have issues with their ponding there with Bergen County soil. 116 Main, Richie Banker's building got a CO, and they're moving pretty good on the old Kmart building as far as footing and foundations are started and are going pretty much good as we speak. Regarding property maintenance, 20 residents were caught working without permits. 13 were tagged for electronics and appliances. 5 shopping carts were removed and returned to Walmart, PetSmart, and ShopRite. Stop and Shop. 4 signs were removed from poles. 23 warnings for parking on the grass. 10 summonses for garbage and debris. 6 business and 4 residential. 39 warnings were issued for high grass. And 8 homes were resolved for damaged roof gutters, railings, and painted homes from property maintenance that the warnings that had gone out. That concludes my report. If anybody has any questions or comments, And then I have one other thing that, I don't know if it's gonna be brought up now, Alan, or maybe later on regarding the proposed fees that I sent.
Yes, I had sent you a memo. I told you you and I would speak with Frank DeMaria to go through the fee schedule to see what is
Okay.
permitted under the statute, and we can then come back to the mayor and council at the
Okay.
June 15th work session with a recommendation as to the new fees.
Okay, very good.
So Frank, whenever you're available, and
Yeah,
Nick.
before the end of the week, you and I and Nick will,
Okay,
through Zoom.
great, thank you.
Very good. Okay, that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, Nick, any questions for Nick?
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Okay, resolutions?
Resolutions, executive meeting Tuesday, June 15th, 2021, 5 p.m. Regular meeting Tuesday, June 15th, 2021, 7 p.m.
Consent agenda.
Consent agenda. These resolutions are matters covering operation of government and will be passed by one roll call vote covering all items on the consent agenda. Resolution number 21-51, approving bills for May 2021. Resolution number 21-52, authorizing signatures on borough drafts or checks for bank account number 802-01922. Resolution number 21-53, reappointing Mark N. Shrieks as Commissioner of the Housing Authority of the Borough of Lodi for the 5-year term effective June 11th, 2021 and ending June 10th, 2026. Resolution number 21-54, authorizing the submission of a strategic plan for the Lodi Municipal Alliance Grant for the Lodi Municipal Drug Alliance Grant for the fiscal year 2022 in the amount of the DEDR $4,507.18, cash requirement $1,126.80, in-kind requirement $3,380.39. Resolution number 21-55, approving the following settlement of tax appeal in accordance with the stipulation of settlement and authorizing the mayor, borough manager, or any other appropriate official to perform any act necessary to effectuate the purposes set forth in this resolution. Wilfred H. and Annie S. Burke, under tax court docket numbers 013-664-2015, 011-779-2016, and 013-292-2018 for the calendar years 2015, 2016, and 2018. Resolution number 21-56, approving the following settlement of tax appeal in accordance with the stipulation of settlement and authorizing the mayor, borough manager, or any other appropriate official to perform any act necessary to effectuate the purposes set forth in this resolution. Genesis Incorporated, under tax court docket numbers 014129-2015 and 013307-2019. Resolution number 21-57, approving the following settlement of tax appeal in accordance with the stipulation of settlement and authorizing the mayor, borough manager, or any other appropriate official to perform any act necessary to effectuate the purposes set forth in this resolutions. Aeronautical Instrument and Radio Company, under tax court docket numbers 013669-2015, 013396-2016, and 013290-2018. Resolution number 21-58, adopting the Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual and Employee Handbook, appointing Borough of Lodi Labor Law Counsel as employment attorney and advisor, and authorizing the Borough Clerk and the Borough of Lodi Labor Law Counsel to assist the Borough Manager in the implementation of the policies and procedures in this manual. Resolution number 21-59, approving renewal of the following inactive liquor license pursuant to NJSA 33:1-12.39 for the license term beginning July 1st, 2020 and ending June 30th, 2021. License number 0231-33-036-004, KW Lodi LLC. Resolution number 21-60, authorizing entering into a municipal services agreement with Haven Place East Condo Association for solid waste 2021 for the period of 1 year commencing April 1st, 2021 and terminating March 31st, 2022, and authorizing Mayor Luna to execute that agreement. Resolution number 21-61, authorizing entering into a municipal services agreement with the View Condo Association for solid waste 2021 for the period of 1 year commencing on June 1st, 2021 and terminating May 31st, 2022, and authorizing Mayor Luna to execute said agreement. Resolution number 21-62, amending the contract authorized by resolution number 20-77 on July 1st, 2020, and amended by resolution number 20-178 on October 20th, 2020, and authorizing Deputy Mayor Vincent Martin to execute the amended contract with Florio Perucci Steinhardt and Capelli LLC for the provision of legal services as special labor law counsel to the Borough of Lodi for the period of July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021. Resolution number 21-63, authorizing the use of the public rights of way by Planet Networks Incorporated and authorizing Mayor Scott A. Luna to execute and Borough Clerk to attest to any other documents necessary to effectuate the terms of this resolution. Resolution number 21-64, authorizing entering into a shared services agreement between the Borough of Lodi and County of Bergen for ADA Cooperative Curb Ramp Grant Program pursuant to NJSA 40A:65-1 and authorizing Councilman Emil Carafa Jr. to execute and the Borough Clerk to attest said shared services agreement. Resolution number 21-65, authorizing entering into a shared services agreement between the Borough of Lodi and the County of Bergen for county road resurfacing pursuant to NJSA 40A:65-1 and authorizing Councilman Emil Carafa Jr. to execute and the Borough Clerk to attest said shared services agreement. Resolution number 21-67, authorizing entering into an agreement with Police Chief Donald Scorzetti of the Lodi Police Department for the period of January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2024, and authorizing Mayor Scott A. Luna to execute said agreement on behalf of the borough.
Get a motion?
Motion. Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Councilman Bichara,
Abstain on resolution 21-53 and yes to all the others.
thank you. Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Want to abstain on resolution 21-59, yes to all the others.
and Mayor Luna.
Abstain on resolution 21-51, bill number F0143, 21-00646, and resolutions 2162, 2164, 2165, and yes on the rest.
Thank you, Mayor.
Ordinances?
Ordinances, hearing and adoption, ordinance number 2021-02. Bond ordinance to authorize various improvements to municipal facilities in, by, and for the Borough of Lodi in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $450,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-02? Carol, will you read the call-in number?
Yes, Mayor. The call-in number is 646-558-8656.
Joe,
Yes. Okay, so Joe Augusta for Worcester Court. All right, so these all look like the same ordinances that you passed last year. This one's the one that went from 100,000 to 450,000. So I'm just gonna, let you go through all of them. And at the last ordinance, if you can just tell me how much debt Lodi is is gonna be in after the last ordinance is read. The 2021-10. So I'll check back in on that one. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard? The number is 646-558-8656.
Motion to close the hearing and adopt ordinance number 21-02.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Hearing and adoption ordinance number 2021-03. Bond ordinance to authorize the acquisition of new automotive vehicles, including original apparatus and equipment, for the use of various borough departments, offices, and agencies in by and for the Borough of Lodi in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $100,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-03?
Again, the call number is 646-558-8656.
If no one's out there wishing to be heard, get a motion to close and adopt.
Motion to close and adopt.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Hearing and adoption ordinance number 2021-04. Bond ordinance to authorize the acquisition of new additional or replacement equipment and machinery for the use of various borough departments, offices, and agencies in by and for the Borough of Lodi in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $150,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance 2021-04, please call in.
Call-in number is 646-558-8656.
No one wishes to be heard. Get a motion to close and adopt ordinance
Motion.
2104.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Hearing and adoption ordinance number 2021-05. Bond ordinance to authorize the undertaking of the 2021 road reconstruction and curb and sidewalk replacement program, local, in by and for the Borough of Lodi in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $300,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-05, you can call in.
Call-in number again is 646-558-8656.
Motion to close the hearing and adopt.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman Farah,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Hearing and adoption ordinance number 2021-06. Bond ordinance to authorize the undertaking of sanitary sewer system improvements, excuse me, at various locations in by and for the Borough of Lodi in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $150,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-06 can call in.
Call-in number is 646-558-8656.
Motion to close the hearing on ordinance number 2021-06 and adopt.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Hearing and adoption ordinance number 2021-07. Bond ordinance to authorize the installation of a multi-purpose field enclosure at Kennedy Park in by and for the Borough of Lodi in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $300,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-07, please call in.
Call-in number again is 646-558-8656.
No one wishes to be heard. Get an order, motion to close and adopt.
Motion to close and adopt.
Second.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Hearing and adoption ordinance number 2021-08. Bond ordinance to authorize the acquisition of a new Hope truck for the use of the Department of Public Works in by and for the Borough of Lodi in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $200,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-08 can call in.
Calling number is 646-558-8656.
No one wishes to be heard. Make a motion to close and adopt.
Motion to close and adopt ordinance number 2021-08.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Hearing and adoption ordinance number 2021-09. Bond ordinance to authorize the acquisition of new additional or replacement public safety equipment and machinery in by and for the Borough of Lodi in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $150,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-09 can call in.
Call-in number is 646-558-8656.
No one wishes to be heard. Get a motion to close and adopt.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
Yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Hearing and adoption ordinance number 2021-10, bond ordinance to authorize the undertaking of various improvements to Jet Age Park in by and for the Borough of Lodi in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $300,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to appropriate a county grant, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-10, you can call in.
Call-in number is 646-558-8656.
Joe Augusta for Wissy Court. Okay, so do you have that number? What's Lodi's total debt after this ordinance?
Frank, you're on mute, Frank.
After, the total debt on these ordinances, these particular ones is 1,843,000. The accumulated debt you'd have to get off the Oprah from the supplemental debt statement after tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, I know what the number is for after these ordinances that have just been read, but all right. Okay, and as far as the posting the full ordinances online, they're just the partial ordinances that are posted. Why aren't the full ordinance posted? That way I or anybody else can see what the entire ordinance entails or what it's about. And for that matter, the resolutions as well. Why does somebody have to request the ordinances and resolutions? Why don't you just post them in full? I mean, we spoke about this before. Is there any reason to not post the full ordinance and the resolutions online? Because like I said, how can somebody speak to these brief summaries?
Is there a reason why, guys? Carol?
Is there a reason why?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mayor, I can respond to that.
Okay,
A few years ago, in an effort to save money on publications, there was a provision in the state which allows ordinances to be posted in summary form. With that, along with the Oprah ability for individuals to obtain the entire document, the new system basically is we save money because we don't post the whole ordinance and advertise the summary. And in the month in between the introduction and the hearing, individuals have the opportunity to request an Oprah and get the entire document. That's the way the new system works.
Thank you,
But
Joe.
that system doesn't make sense because what does it cost to post it online at the website? It doesn't cost anything to post a full ordinance on the website and the resolutions. So I mean that makes no sense what you just said.
Well, the official notice is newspaper, not the website.
Okay, so you can put it, if you don't want to put it in the newspaper, the official full entire ordinance, you can put it at least on the website, which costs you nothing to do. It's free to do it basically for you. It's no cost. I mean, to put the summary or to put the entire thing, same thing, same effort, same amount of work and same cost. So if you can, that way people can see, read the entire thing and speak to it. Right, you guys got nothing to hide, so why not post it? Makes no sense to go through the whole, in fact, going through the whole Oprah request, that's more expensive. If you want to talk about expense, that's more expensive to go through that whole process. Somebody has to get it, then fill it, then either have somebody come down and get it or email it to them or whatever. It's just more involved as opposed to just posting it. Everybody has access to it and you're done.
Is this a hearing on this ordinance or is this a hearing of citizens?
This is a hearing on this ordinance.
This ordinance, it applies to all these ordinances. Because I'll be specific to this one. Why wasn't this specific ordinance 2021-10 posted on the website in its entirety? Is that
Just
specific
gave
enough
you
for
the
you?
answer. He gave you the answer. It's posted in the newspaper. So you can go online and get it in the newspaper as well. Just as easy you can go on a website.
No, the summary is posted in the newspaper, as is, it's also posted in the summary on the website. I'm talking about its entirety.
We could discuss it.
What I'm given by the bond attorney.
That's, if you want it in its entirety, you open it. That's it. It saves space. You have
That's the way
to
it
pay
goes.
for it. There is a cost to put it up there, and we pay by disk space. So we all that disk space and the memory that you'd be paying for. So
It's no
Well,
cost.
number
There's no cost to that.
there absolutely is a cost to
There
that.
is absolutely no
It's cost
cost.
at the end of story, period, end of story.
Right, so it's cheaper for somebody to open request and somebody fulfill it and send it to them. That's
He
cheaper.
gave you the answer. He gave you the answer. Any other question on this ordinance?
That's not the answer. No, thank you.
He gave it to you. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-10? The call-in number is 646-558-8656.
Get a motion to close and adopt.
Close and adopt.
Motion to close and adopt.
Councilman Leto? Councilman Leto?
Yes.
Councilman DeChara?
Yes.
Councilman Carafa?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin?
yes,
And Mayor Luna?
Yes.
Hearing and adoption ordinance number 2021-11. An ordinance to provide for the amendment of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Lodi with the addition of a new chapter entitled Telecommunications Facilities in the Borough right of way.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-11, please call in.
Call-in number is 646-558-8656.
Get a motion to close and adopt.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Leto?
Yes.
Councilman DeChara?
Yes.
Councilman Carafa?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin?
yes,
And Mayor Luna?
Yes.
Hearing and adoption ordinance number 2021-13. Ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limits and to establish a cap bank. NJSA 40A:4-45.14.
Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance number 2021-14, please call in.
13.
13, sorry.
Call-in number is 646-558-8656.
Get a motion to close and adopt.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Leto?
Yes.
Councilman DeChara?
Yes.
Councilman Carafa?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin?
yes,
And Mayor Luna?
Yes.
Introduction ordinance number 2021-14. An ordinance to amend all previous applicable traffic ordinances and to designate certain additional intersections as full stop streets in the Borough of Lodi.
Motion.
second,
It's a motion.
Councilman Leto?
Yes.
Councilman DeChara?
Yes.
Councilman Carafa?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin?
yes,
And Mayor Luna?
Yes.
Introduction ordinance number 2021-15. An ordinance adopting a revision and codification of the ordinances of the Borough of Lodi, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey.
Motion.
Second.
Finally.
Councilman Leto?
Yes.
Councilman DeChara?
Yes.
Councilman Carafa?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin?
yes,
And Mayor Luna?
Yes.
Introduction ordinance number 2021-16. An ordinance to amend all previous applicable traffic ordinances and to amend ordinance 84-8 to designate certain streets as no parking on certain dates and times in the Borough of Lodi, Frederick Street.
Get a motion.
Second.
Councilman Leto?
Yes.
Councilman DeChara?
Yes.
Councilman Carafa?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin?
yes,
And Mayor Luna?
Yes. Any B resolutions tonight?
No, Mayor.
Any council wishing to be heard tonight? Council reports?
I would just like to say that I'm very happy that the codification is up. I said finally because when I got elected in the 80s, this was started. I guess it fell to the wayside for many years. And I'm very happy that this council has pursued it in the correct order and fashion that it had to be pursued, following what we needed to follow in order to move it to the intro and the next meeting, hearing and adoption. So hats off to everybody who was involved in putting all of this in order, and then we could finally get it posted to our website where it definitely belongs, but after it goes through the proper procedures and protocols. So thanks to everyone for doing this. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Anyone else?
I wanted to acknowledge the DPW. I know we had a good 10 days or so of lull where you guys weren't working, but thank you for getting everything done so quick and working hard. Everything's starting to look really good. Nick, thank you for following up on all the things we've discussed. And I hate to find people, but if people aren't maintaining their properties and doing the right thing, that's the only way to keep Lodi clean and back up to date. So thank you everyone for the hard work. Thank you.
I just want to bring up that I know we sent out a mass communication today in social media in reference to Garibaldi being totally closed from Main Street to actually from Brook, right? From Brook to Victor. Right? Do you know anything about that?
You were broken up a little. What was that?
So starting tomorrow morning, Garibaldi will be closed in the intersection of Brook Street in all directions until further notice. Is that, I also read something that Garibaldi was going to be closed all the way up to Victor Street.
Yeah.
24 hours, 7 days a week. Do we know how long that may be?
It's going to be quite a long time.
Is it? Okay.
That's the Army Corps project still.
Yeah.
They need to cross Garibaldi, so there's going to be a police officer there, two police officers there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, monitoring the traffic.
And the Army Corps is paying for that, right?
Thank you.
That's correct. The federal government's paying for it, yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Old business? New business? Okay, I'd like to open this portion of the meeting to the hearing of citizens. Any citizen wishing to be heard will have 5 minutes to be heard. Carol, you can call the number.
Sure, Mayor. The call-in number for the hearing of citizens is 646-558-8656.
Mr. Getz, you're up first.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So first I wanted to extend my condolences to Mayor Luna for your recent losses. I haven't been able to see you and express my condolences, so I wanted to take the opportunity to say my family's sorry for your losses.
Thank you. I
Excuse me,
appreciate that. Thank you.
Can you please state your address for the record?
Oh, sure. David Getz, 25 Leo Place in Lodi.
Thank you.
The reason I'm calling in is I live on Leo Place, and this morning, 64 feet of the sidewalk on a street where you can only park on one side of the street was painted yellow from the curb all the way back, taking away 2 parking spots. Also, the adjacent corners going, I think it's north and south, or no, sorry, east and west on St. Joseph's Boulevard were also painted well over 40 feet in either direction, greatly reducing the number of parking spots on Leo and St. Joseph's Boulevard. There was also a resident who got approved a handicap spot, which obviously is perfectly fine. But that's another spot lost now in addition to the yellow curb painting. Leo Place is quite a problem with parking. There are businesses on Union Street that often allow their employees to come and park on Leo Place, greatly reducing the amount of spots available to homeowners and their tenants. So I wanted to know if anyone knew how far from the stop sign the striping should be, if it's a line of sight issue, if it's a safety issue because it's a dangerous intersection, or if something can be done with regards to perhaps making this street resident parking only 24/7 to help reduce employees from Union Street to park here as well.
I think Chief Scorsetti or Brian, you could probably answer that question regarding the striping. About the legality of it.
It's
Mayor?
50 feet from a stop sign.
Mayor, I spoke to Mr. Getz today via email. I have the traffic officer, and I copied the chief on it, looking into it. As far as the reason for the 64, 65 feet of yellow curb, it's an easy fix if that's the case. If it was painted in error by the DPW, maybe. But either way, we're going to look at it first thing tomorrow, and we're going to try and see if we can get it corrected.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe it's 50 feet, Mr. Caruso. Isn't it 50 feet? I believe the chief just said 50 feet.
It's 50 feet from the stop sign. I have to look at the layout of what is over there. So
Then
It's
it's
from
prob-
the stop sign. It's from the
Yeah.
stop sign, not the
It's
corner from the stop sign. Okay.
It's-
Just
it's-
curious.
Yeah, it's probably correct then, because within that 64 feet is a residential driveway, which I'm assuming is minus from the amount. So the driveway is probably about 14 feet. So that takes us to 50 feet plus 14 for the driveway. So I'm assuming that's why it's 64 feet back. But
Dave, let me ask you a question, Dave, in reference
Sure.
to the employees from Union Street parking. Is
Mm-hmm.
that a 24/7 problem, or would you say more of a, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. problem?
it depends on the business. It's more a 7 to 7 problem. But then there are some businesses that stay open. I don't want to call them out,
Right.
but there are some businesses that stay open a little bit later, and their employees are on the street. So I wanted to ask if the council would consider perhaps making Leo Place, since there's only parking on one side, perhaps making it a 24/7 residential parking sticker block, or something to help alleviate some of the parking issues here, because with the four-way intersection with St. Joe's and Leo Place now being taken out 50 feet in accordance to be within the requirements, it just creates a very large parking issue.
And it's something we can discuss at our next work session.
Yeah, maybe we can do something as we addressed in some of the other streets in town that had similar problems way back. So we could discuss that and definitely look into that for you, Dave.
Thank you so much, Mayor Luna. I appreciate it. And Deputy Mayor Martin. And also, Mr. Melfi, I wanted to thank you for continuing to help with the issues on Delglen Avenue. So thank you very much for that as well, and for the council for supporting that. So that was all I had. So thank you all very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dave.
Anybody else wishing to be heard?
Ready?
Mr.
Joe
Augusta?
Augusta?
Mr.
For
Augusta?
Lucy Court? Okay, Joe Augusta for Lucy Court. All right, I saw something posted on Facebook about moving the fireworks from 4th of July to October. Why is that being done?
Well, we did it last year. Also, if we did it on the 4th of July, not knowing with the pandemic and the amount of people, we decided to do it again in October. Hopefully, the restrictions would be off. We did have a very good response last year when we did it. A lot of other towns are doing it the same night, people on vacation. So with the COVID restrictions, not knowing, how many people we were allowed, we decided we were going to do it after our October Fest, as we did last year, which this year is going to be in a fundraiser event for the veterans. So all proceeds will be going to the veterans of Lodi this year. And, being with the fireworks, we decided to do that for the vets. And again, with COVID, we don't know what's open. We're still
Yeah,
having.
but you're aware of the CDC guidelines now, right? That they're loosening the restrictions. So there's no reason to do it in
Joe,
October.
before you get going, this was planned way before. Okay, so the CDC guidelines just started opening up. There's still people not going to work. Government offices are still not open to full yet at this time. So when we planned it, Mr. Wanko, who registers the fireworks, that's when it happened. So I'm sorry you don't like it, but some people do, and
No, a
some
lot of
people
people don't like it because it says it's going to be a tradition. So you're looking to move it to October.
No one's
Just
looking
like
to
you
move
tried
it. I
to move
just
the
gave you the answer, Joey. So
yeah, you just tried to
that's
move.
the reason
You
we
just
gave
tried
it
to
to you.
move the BOE, the Board of Education elections.
No,
in
not
April.
one of us
You-
decided to move a Board of Education
Yeah,
election. The
yeah,
board is
it
the
was two
board,
meetings
the
where it was
council is the
discussed and you
council.
wanted to move it. It
No.
didn't
False.
work out for you.
Nah, that's
And
another
now you want to
false
have this thing
fake
right
news,
before the
Joey.
election.
Fake news
Absolutely
again.
untrue.
It's being, it's being done for political purposes. I mean, there's no reason
To
to
our
have it in
knowledge, there's
October.
nothing
Who
going
has
on with the
fireworks in
board.
October? I mean,
Lodi.
last year,
Lodi does. And 3,000 people that.
right, you want to change it to the whole tradition from what, 1776 up until
But
now,
Joe,
and then you want to
Joe,
have your own thing.
Joe,
No
may I
fireworks
remind
prior
you-
to
may I remind
the
you,
past
this
couple years.
Why does
administration-
Lodi want to do that though?
But Joe, may I remind you that this administration brought the fireworks back after 18 years. So please don't belittle us. We never said we're
Yeah,
going to.
but now you're moving it for it, but it's
Joe, if there
clearly
wasn't a
being done for
pandemic, we'd
political
be having a
purposes.
4th of July.
All right, so I'm
Did
going
the
to move
pandemic,
now.
Joe?
I'm going to move now. A lot of people don't like that decision.
They don't have to come.
Oh, good. The
I'm gonna
3,000
move now.
people that
Everybody's
came last year, like,
aware of the accident that happened on Route 46 on April 29th, right? And I'm going to speak now with Deputy Mayor Vincent Martin because you're on the planning board and you're aware what happened on August 12th of 2020, right? When they were approved, the plan that was approved for Auto Gallery.
That's correct.
Right. So now you're also aware then all the cars in that front row were illegally parked. And it's the police's responsibility to ticket each one of those cars. And each one of those cars were now they're a contributing factor into the amount of damage that was done. That whole row is not supposed to be there. You know, that car that went spinning and smashed into those cars and then got sent back into the shoulder of the highway wouldn't have made it back into the highway if that property was laid out according to plan. So now I want to know if the police report reflects that those cars, that entire first row, they were all illegally parked. They were on public property. And now I'm sure that's something the insurance companies want to know.
Well,
I don't know who's at fault.
That would have to be answered by the police
Are gonna
department.
wanna know
I
that those
retired in
vehicles-
2014.
Excuse me?
I said, that would have to be answered by the police department because I retired in 2014. So I don't know I'm not aware what's on the police report.
But you're on the planning board. You approved
That has
the
nothing to do
plan.
with, that has nothing to do with me seeing an accident report, Joe. That has absolutely nothing to do with that.
But you would agree then that that whole entire first row is illegally parked vehicles, correct?
Well, I wouldn't comment on unless I had the resolution in front of me.
You don't remember the
Want to
plan?
revisit it next meeting, I'll get the resolution and I'll comment. But yes, there are definitely restrictions on the resolution, but I can't comment.
No,
on
there's
that
no restrictions.
resolution.
It's the layout, and it's the layout in general. And I just want the insurance companies to understand and how much more. And if there was a car carrier there, so now we'll go to the car carrier. How much more severe would that accident have been?
There wasn't,
You know?
Joe.
There wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't. But how much more severe would it have been?
I can't answer the unknown, Joe.
Huh? There's a reason, that's a highway and they're not supposed to be parked or doing any type of activities in the shoulder. The shoulder's for emergency purposes.
Joe, that's 5 minutes.
Thank you.
I know.
Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Call-in number is 646-558-8656.
I'll make the motion to close the hearing of citizens.
Second,
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
yes.
Councilman Carafa,
Yes,
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
yes. Get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second,
Councilman Leto,
Yes.
Councilman DeChara,
yes.
Councilman Carafa,
yes.
Deputy Mayor Martin,
Yes.
and Mayor Luna.
Yes.
Time is 8:01 PM.